We're going to look at the best option for gold coins, and there's going to be a right answer here, no question. But there might also be a second right answer and a third right answer. You won't know until you get to the end. Unless you happen to already know, but I feel like I'm making this more confusing than it needs to be, so let's just jump in. I've mentioned the buy to sell spread on gold coins before. Same goes for silver, but I usually mention it buried in a video where I'm talking about something else. So I'm going to cover it in detail in this one. What are we talking about here? Well, the spread is the delta between the purchase premium and the sale premium, not necessarily the total price, because that spot price, that base price, is always fluctuating. Some even say that part makes the premium unimportant, but the reality is that some gold coins are just better deals than others. And with the spot price of gold being what it is, well, saving a few percent of $2,000 on each and every purchase, well, that can be significant over time. The idea in real estate is that you make your money when you buy, not when you sell. Maybe you've heard that one before, and that plays in a little bit here, but if we really want to know what the best deal on a gold coin is, we need to look at the purchase and the sale. I'm going to start with modern gold bullion for this one. I'm going to run through 3 categories, and I would call this the Goldilocks model, except that the best choices, they're not universal. I'm going to make it clear at some point here by telling you that what I've decided to do might not even be what I think is best, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get some details out first to explain. For the first category, let's start with the 1 ounce American Gold Eagle. That is far and away the most popular gold coin here in the United States. The typical purchase premium on these coins right now is 6%. So if spot price was $1,980, then I could expect to be able to consistently find these coins for right around $2,100. We're going to see fluctuation. Sometimes my favorite seller might be asking slightly more than that. Sometimes a random seller will be asking less than that. It's kind of the universal expectation though. I'm going to focus here on the bell of the curve rather than the edges, and 6% is a good expectation. Now switching over to the sales side, the same dealer who will sell me the 1 ounce American Gold Eagle for 6% over spot will buy back from me for 2% over spot. And that's a 4% buy to sell spread on premium. So looking at that 1 ounce American Gold Eagle, the spot price of gold at $1,980, well, the buy to sell spread would be $80. I'd buy the coin for $2,100, I'd sell the coin for $2,020, so 4% or $80 delta. And the same is true for gold buffaloes. Okay, so let's pause there for just a minute. This is where the hand would go up in the back of the class. Yes, you lose $80 on a 1 ounce American Gold Eagle as soon as you walk out the door of the shop. It's like driving a car off the sales lot. This is why gold and silver bullion just is not a good short-term play. The spot price of the metal needs to appreciate beyond that acquisition spread for you to recognize any gains. That's your sunk cost. You're technically upside down until spot appreciates beyond that. Front runner for the next category is the Canadian Maple Leaf. A 1 ounce Canadian Maple Leaf typically sells for 4% premium. Now again, you can find them for slightly less. Right now I'm seeing options for 3.5%, but most of the dealers who buy back will sell them for 4%. Same dealers buy them for spot. So that means the buy to sell spread on the Canadian Maple Leaf is the same as I just mentioned for the Eagle or the Buffalo. It's 4%. You buy them for $2,060, you sell them for $1,980. That's the same $80 delta. Time to pause again, hands up in the back again. Some people are going to tell you they never intend to sell, and if this is true, the Canadian Maple Leaf would save you 2% every time you buy. In the example that I gave, it would save you $40 for each 1 ounce coin. But since this video is about the buy to sell spread, I'm going to assume that the gold that we're talking about will be sold someday. And that means we need a second pause. There's an asterisk on Canadian Maple Leafs because in the United States, the sale of 25 or more ounces of Canadian Maple Leafs, Krugerrands, or Mexican gold coins triggers an automatic 1099-B IRS tax form. This lets the IRS know about your sale and lets them know that, hey, they can expect payment for all appropriate capital gains. Now, technically, that's no different than anything else. The goal here is not to avoid gains entirely, but a 1099-B makes the process more difficult for you. The rule now requires you to prove your acquisition cost. Without that form, though, you self-report. It's easier, and that's the way the law was set up. It makes it easier to buy American gold versus Canadian maple leaf or Krugerrand or those Mexican gold coins. You should at least be aware of this. And a 1099-B, it's also submitted if you sell U.S. constitutional silver in any combination adding up to $1,000 in face value. Now, bars fall in here too. 1,000 ounces or more of silver bars or a kilogram or more of gold bars also gets you a 1099-B. Plan accordingly. So quick recap, both the US mint coins, the Eagle and the Buffalo, have a buy to sell spread of 4%. You buy for 6%, you sell for 2%. The Canadian maple leaf has a similar spread of 4%. The purchase price is lower, so is the sell price. And we're going to drop Krugerrands into this category as well because they're typically the same. But both the Krug and the maple have additional reporting requirements at certain levels. The last category here, maybe you guessed it, it's going to be front run by the British Britannia. I'm going to throw in the Australian Kangaroo as well. Both of these coins can be found for a 3% premium. Not always, and probably not right now, but ST Bullion does have a deal where if you buy a 1 ounce platinum Britannia, you can get a 1 ounce gold Britannia for spot. Again though, I'm looking at the middle of the curve, and getting any modern bullion at spot, obviously not typical. Now, normally the same dealers who sell Britannias for 3% premium will also buy them back for spot. That means the buy to sell spread here is 3% or $60 in the case that I was giving with spot at $1,980. Okay, so hand is up in the back again. I get it. Premiums on Britannias have been going up 3.5%, 4%. It's more typical. But there's a lot going on with the coin right now. There's a new monarch on it. That has changed the inventory, and that's also changed the demand. But that's a blip. But if I was to look at the local shops, what a typical local shop will pay, well, I'm going to use my own. My local shops sell all modern bullion from foreign mints for the same price. It doesn't matter if it's a Philharmonic, a Britannia, or a Maple Leaf. They're all 4% over. U.S. mint coins, Eagles and Buffaloes, they're 6% over. They buy foreign mint coins for spot price. They buy US mint coins for 2% over spot. Pretty simple. Now, online dealers are going to be more nuanced, primarily because of technology. They pay more attention to ongoing demand and current inventory. So Britannias, they go for less than Maple Leafs typically. Again, what we're seeing is a blip, but we might see that difference begin to decrease as Britannias continue to gain in popularity. One more question from the back. Yes, I only have Eagles and Buffaloes right now. No Krugs, Britannias, Maple Leafs, Kangaroos, Philharmonics. Why? Well, the buy to sell spread on the Eagles and Buffaloes is 4%. That's similar to Maples, similar to Krugs right now, but there is no 1099-B reporting hoop. Britannias and Kangaroos, yep, 3% buy to sell spread. Both are 24 karat, 4.9 fine pure gold coins from top tier mints. So what's the story there? If I was starting to stack gold today, I'd really have to admit the Britannia, possibly the Kangaroo, is the best option from a numbers perspective. The pros and cons are actually pretty tight with the US Mint products. There's just no glaring con. Charles is on the coin. Most people don't care. It has great security features. It's well known. It's a great looking 24 karat coin, and it's cheap. Honestly, it'd be really hard to say which is the smarter option. In my case, I'm most likely to sell at a local shop in the middle of the country, and there are just strong preferences for the home team coins there. I can sell Eagles, I can sell Buffaloes at any volume with no hassle. Also, since I already have Eagles, there's just a simple momentum or organizational lean, OCD, whatever you want to call it, that pushes me toward more Eagles. Buffaloes, they're more or less the same. We need to look at Fractional next, but it's really difficult to do that because the buy to sell spread varies pretty wildly. The inventory on quarter ounce gold at the moment is extremely limited, so it's really hard to even get a price. If I was buying 1/4 ounce gold coins though, I would buy Britannias, just no question. Recently the premiums for Britannias have been less than 13%, but Eagles have been 20% and up, and the buyback is not good enough to cover that spread. So the Britannias really pull ahead at the fractional size, and if I was starting today, that's probably where I'd start. So I think the takeaway here is that there are some really good options, and the difference between the options, well, it's pretty minor. Maybe you notice though that I really only mentioned 7 modern bullion coins. I mentioned Eagles and Buffaloes, Canadian Maple Leafs, Krugerrands, Britannias, Kangaroos, and then I kind of dropped in Philharmonics. There are hundreds more when you start looking at series and one-off options. What I'll say here, though, is that if you want to know what to expect, stick with those big 7. Everything else is going to come with a question mark. I collect 3 series: Lunars, Chinese Myths and Legends from the Perth Mint, and the US High Relief Liberties, if you'd call that a series. Now, I know how to sell those coins if I need to, but I couldn't tell you what I could expect for a price. And because of that, they aren't good stacking options. They're just good fun options. But I knew that in the outset. If you came here looking for the answer to my initial question of which modern gold coin is the best deal, I have to give it to the Britannia. If the question was which coin makes the most sense, well, that depends on a few things. Size is one of them. I still think the Eagle and the Buffalo make the most sense at the 1 ounce size for me, but the Britannia is the clear winner at the 1/4 ounce size. Again, doesn't mean that's what I'm doing. Now, outside of those 3 coins, the Eagle, the Buffalo, and the Britannia, there are strong cases that could be made for Maple Leafs, for Kangaroos, Philharmonics, for Krugs. It would be really hard to argue any of those choices. And that gives you 7 really good right answers at any size. Well, the Buffaloes don't come in fractional, but if you really want to be sure, I would still say start with your local options. They're always going to be the easiest to sell, and then make sure there's a good reason if you're choosing anything else. Let's call it good there. We can come back to bars and non-modern coins in a follow-up. So let us know what you think. Do you have a favorite coin? Do you have a logically correct coin? Maybe you buy them all. I'd be interested to hear that too. Let us know. And then while you're in the comments, be sure to hit the like button if you found any of this interesting. Be sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on if you'd like to see more on the topic. And if you're still here, thanks again for watching. I always appreciate your time. Take care.